5 Steps to Reduce Golden Years Diabetes Anxiety. Living with diabetes can be challenging, but for many older adults, it's not just about lowering blood sugar levels. It's also about reducing the mental stress which comes along with diabetes management, from concerns about medication side effects to deep fears of diabetes complications. Diabetes-related anxiety is a very real and often overlooked aspect that can totally tank your health. But here's some good news. There are 5 simple, science-backed strategies that can help to decrease your diabetes stress. In turn, that can work wonders for improving your blood sugar control, especially as you age. So let's dive into 5 steps to reduce golden years diabetes stress and anxiety. In this video, we will explore how anxiety affects blood sugar regulation, especially for older adults. We'll show you why glucose management becomes more difficult as you age, and we are revealing 5 concrete steps to lower your diabetes-related stress, so you can get your feet planted firmly on the path towards better blood sugar control. Plus, stay tuned to the end of this video to learn about mind-sound resonance and how you can use this technique for reduced stress. Have you suffered from diabetes-related anxiety issues? We want to hear your story, so please comment below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to explore other helpful topics. Okay, so it's important to understand that no matter how healthy you think you are, as you age, your body will inevitably experience diminished diabetes management capabilities. But why? If you've seen our previous videos on aging and diabetes symptoms, then you may already understand these reasons, but let's provide a quick review. An aging body has increasing difficulty in balancing blood sugar due to changes in pancreatic function, altered hormonal regulation, gut microbiome changes, increases in visceral fat, reductions in muscle mass, lifestyle and physical activity changes, medication complications, comorbidities like also having heart disease, cancer, or other serious medical conditions. And also, a major reason for your increasing glucose levels can be attributed to the fact that an aging body will begin to experience decreased stress management. Research proves that growing older will diminish your body's ability to recover from physical or psychological stress, and that can lead to prolonged periods of elevated glucose levels. So, this begs the question, how does anxiety affect blood sugar regulation, especially for older diabetics? Did you know that a certain amount of stress is beneficial for your body? At the same time, chronic stress and anxiety can wreak havoc, not just on your mental health, but on your physical health as well. But how does getting anxious about work or money or life in general add up to physical damage to your body and your blood sugar? Well, this is largely due to plain old-fashioned chemistry. You see, the human brain tends to release increasingly higher levels of certain stress hormones, especially cortisol and adrenaline, over time. And when these chemicals enter the bloodstream, they will naturally trigger the release of glucose from the liver, because being stressed means that your body requires a quick jolt of energy. Chronic high levels of stress hormones also impair the body's insulin response, which will further contribute to increased blood sugar levels. Plus, it seems obvious that stress can cause harmful glucose spiking, weight increasing, overeating. But here's something you may not realize. Being constantly stressed can also lead you to skip meals. That too can create dangerous fluctuations in your blood sugar and may contribute to worsened insulin resistance. On top of all this, elderly individuals report increases in their anxiety due to the mental stress of dealing with these diabetes difficulties. And older adults are more susceptible to anxiety-related memory and critical thinking issues. Indeed, even though you may not notice it, your anxiety could very well be impairing your ability to follow a structured diabetes management plan, such as remembering to take your meds or checking your blood glucose levels regularly. So it seems that this is all one big vicious cycle. where having more erratic glucose levels leads to higher levels of stress, which then causes even greater fluctuations in blood sugar. Clearly, anxiety and diabetes are very closely linked, and that connection will only strengthen as you age. But what, if anything, can you do about it? We're ready to reveal some surprisingly simple and amazingly effective methods for managing your stress and your blood sugar all at the same time. But just a quick reminder, we want to hear your thoughts on anxiety and diabetes, so please comment below. Alright, let's get into the steps you can take to reverse your golden years diabetes anxiety, starting with step number 1, get relaxed. It makes sense that one of the most effective treatments for stress at any age is to partake in relaxation techniques. These include meditation, deep breathing exercises, and muscle relaxation exercises like yoga and massages. Progressive muscle relaxation and mindfulness meditation have been shown to reduce diabetes-related neuropathic pain and fatigue. Results of a 2007 study reported that type 2 diabetic participants who implemented a mindfulness-based stress reduction program experienced reductions in their blood pressure and HbA1c levels. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Clinical Medicine found that mind-body training, specifically mindfulness exercises and yoga routines, resulted in positive effects on levels of anxiety, stress, and depression for study participants with type 2 diabetes. And a more recent study in the Journal of Complementary and Integrative Medicine even showed that type 2 diabetics who participated in a single session of the specialized yoga practice known as mind-sound resonance technique significantly reduced their blood sugar and anxiety levels. Want to know how to use MSRT? Stick around, we'll show you a little later in this video. Next, you definitely need to take step number 2, get fit. Don't get scared off by this challenge. Getting fit doesn't have to mean spending multiple hours at the gym or straining yourself with heavy weights and grueling strength training programs. Doctors say that all you really need to maintain proper fitness is about 150 minutes of light to moderate physical activity per week. And if you are older, that activity can and should be low-impact, less stressful exercise routines like swimming, resistance band training, or simply walking. In fact, a recent study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that older adult participants with type 2 diabetes had significant improvements in their cardiovascular health and cognitive function after following a moderate-intensity continuous training regime. The study noted that this also contributes to better stress and anxiety management, and multiple studies show that taking even just a 30-minute walk after meals can help to relax your muscles, lower your post-meal blood sugar, and improve your insulin sensitivity over time. Next, don't forget about step number 3, get nutrients. Your body can become inflamed and stressed from eating the wrong foods, and you already know what those are. So reduce your intake of simple sugar foods, and those do not just include the 4 big bad C's: cakes, cookies, candies, and colas. Don't forget, many types of bread, plenty of pastas, and most cereals and breakfast pastry products will also easily spike your blood sugar, and over time can contribute to obesity and type 2 diabetes. But don't get stressed. There is an entire world of delicious foods that will give your body the very nutrients it requires for cell maintenance, blood sugar control, and stress reduction. So, do go for those whole grains. You can help your blood sugar out by switching to low-carb, high-fiber breads and breads with beneficial bacteria, like sourdough. In fact, studies show that regular sourdough consumption can lead to lower post-meal blood sugar and insulin responses compared to regular white bread consumption. Next, you know what to do. Get your veggies, which supply a wide assortment of blood sugar stabilizing, inflammation-reducing nutrients. Get in a bit of whole fruit, especially berries and whole apples, which supply that essential digestion-slowing dietary fiber, plus heart-protecting, anti-inflammatory antioxidants. supercharge your nutrition and your gut health by regularly consuming fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi. These foods provide beneficial bacterial strains that aid your gut microbiome, and in turn can help to reduce stress-related inflammation and high blood sugar levels. Don't forget to stay to the end of this video to learn all about MSRT and how this relaxation practice can protect you from diabetes anxiety. Next, you definitely need to work diligently at achieving step number 4. Get control over your blood sugar. This method is simple, but maintaining it can be difficult. Nonetheless, it is extremely important for you to strictly follow your glucose monitoring schedule. Checking your blood sugar regularly, especially before and after meals, not only helps you to understand how your body is doing at that moment, it also helps you identify patterns in how your body reacts to the foods you eat. Studies show that, over time, this simple but easy to ignore practice not only helps type 2 diabetics switch to healthier eating habits, it has also been shown to relieve diabetes-related stress and anxiety. Now, checking your glucose is only part of your essential diabetes management plan. Get into the good habit of performing your regular exercise of choice, and don't forget to maintain a consistent eating schedule with glucose-stabilizing meal choices. Research proves that following these glucose control plans can also help to reduce levels of stress and anxiety. Now, for the final and perhaps most difficult, but most rewarding diabetes stress-reducing task, step number 5, get professional support. For some people, this may be the scariest step, but it can also be your biggest step forward and help you leave your golden years anxiety in the dust. Seeking quality healthcare can be difficult, especially when it comes to insurance and cost. But if you have access to diabetes treatment and prevention medical professionals, you should strongly consider using this important resource. If you have type 1, type 2, or even prediabetes, your insurance may cover the cost of seeing an endocrinologist, an expert diabetes physician that can help you focus in on how best to deal with your blood sugar issues. Research proves that regular visits to diabetes specialists, including endocrinologists, can significantly improve your glycemic control within 3 months and can contribute to sustained progress if you keep up with your doctor. In fact, a study published in the journal Diabetes showed that patients attending at least 4 specialist visits per year had better glycemic control compared to patients who visited their doctor less frequently. Meanwhile, many cognitive therapists specialize in helping patients with diabetes-related stress and anxiety, and they will support your health journey. Studies show that cognitive behavioral therapy, or regularly scheduled talking therapy sessions, can help to change your thinking or negative health habits over time. Plus, CBT is effective at reducing anxiety and for improving coping strategies for chronic conditions like diabetes. Now, if you are already close to or in your golden years, you are not alone. In fact, wherever you live, you can most likely find and join a support group for older adults with diabetes. Opening up to others in similar situations as yourself can help to reduce feelings of isolation and fear, which will also help you lower stress and anxiety. Okay, so as promised, here's how to implement the mind-sound resonance technique at home. This relaxation and meditation yoga practice involves chanting mantras in an effort to generate resonance, or deep sound vibrations. This may guide you into a state of calmness and inner focus. It can be helpful to attend an instructor-led session, but it's not necessary. You can also follow pre-recorded audio and video sessions at home. Perform this practice while seated in a chair or on the floor. Close your eyes and try to loosen your muscles and joints. Begin with a short opening prayer called Om Triambaka. Next, you will chant specific sounds or syllables loudly and deeply for 3 to 5 repetitions. This is called Ahata. Then silently chant these sounds in your head for for 3 to 5 repetitions. This is called anahata. During this period, MSRT also typically calls for you to chant the Mahamrityunjaya mantra, a Sanskrit verse from the Rig Veda, an ancient Indian collection of hymns. This chant asks for healing, protection, and conquering the fear of death. Performing a full and authentic MSRT session involves several more rounds of both loud, resonant chanting and silent chanting to yourself, followed by a moment of silence, and finally, the closing prayer, called the Sarve Bhavantu. You can find the exact phrasing and pronunciation of the opening and closing prayers, Ahata, Anahata, and the Mahamrityunjaya mantra online. But in the end, this vocal anxiety reduction practice is all about moving your vocal cords in a rhythmic and repeated manner in order to create vibration and resonance throughout your body. All told, research now suggests that utilizing MSRT can reduce psychological stress, anxiety, and mental fatigue, and it can help to improve mental clarity, focus, and feelings of contentment and happiness. So, get happier, get healthier, and get less anxious in and before your golden years by following these diabetes stress reduction steps.